As the competition for a COVID vaccine heats up, is there help for people who may have fallen through the cracks?
Why Johnson & Johnson says a batch of its vaccine failed quality standards.
Plus, a sign of the season, what to do with all the garbage as our strong winds continue. Valley News Live at 10 starts right now.
This is Valley News Live at 10.
Millions more are getting in line for a COVID vaccine shot tonight. All 50 states have announced when they plan to open up to everyone 16 and older.
Leaving many wondering what that means for people who are high risk and still need to be vaccinated. Valley News team's Courtney Locke dug into the issue to see what's being done so people don't fall through the cracks.
Tom Bolenchek says he's breathing a little easier after getting his first dose of the COVID vaccine.
I wanted to get it done as soon as I could.
Eagerly waiting since December, getting the shot took a little more legwork than he expected. He says he barely missed the first tier. He's about to turn 65 and beat cancer within the last year.
I got kind of in a trapped situation where I couldn't.
Now many, like Tom, are competing with a limited supply and the millions more jumping in line for a vaccine. This week, both North Dakota and Minnesota opened vaccine eligibility to all 16 and up.
I've been looking forward to this day that everybody who wants a vaccine can get the vaccine.
Still, this doesn't mean you're necessarily going to get the vaccine this week. It means you're in lines that are filling fast.
In order for the vaccine to be effective, we can't really do a half-hearted job by people, half the people saying that, I don't need the vaccine.
Vaccine priority still goes to older Minnesotans and North Dakotans, people with underlying health conditions, and frontline workers. Those people are in the fast lane, but the expansion allows vaccinators to move on to the next lane at times where there aren't high-risk people waiting.
It was frustrating seeing younger people getting the vaccine. The rest of us who are doing protocols, and who are a little older, we're having tough times getting the vaccine, or I did. So.
In Grand Forks, Courtney Locke, Valley News Live.
Right now, local health officials' goal is that everyone 16 and older on both sides of the Red River will get their first dose by the end of May. To see options for booking a vaccine appointment, use our VNL vaccine tracker. It's right on the homepage of our website, or you can open your phone camera and point it at the QR code on your screen, then tap the link that pops up.
The White House may recalibrate how COVID vaccines are distributed. Today, the senior advisor for COVID-19 response said changes could come when vaccine supply outstrips demand. When that happens, he said, the government may look at changing where it sends doses.
So I might not think of it as much as shifting, as much as I might think of making sure that we're putting enough vaccines in all the places that they're needed, including doctors' offices, including regions, including places that might have been inefficient to do at the beginning while we had a surplus. So it is absolutely how you should be thinking about our approach going forward.
That comment came a day after Michigan's governor asked the White House if it would consider sending more vaccines to states where infections are surging, like hers. The answer to her question at this time was no.
Pfizer is working on a ready-to-use COVID vaccine. It plans to produce a new version that will no longer need to be diluted with saline. The new vaccine is expected in the second half of 2021. A batch of Johnson & Johnson's COVID vaccine failed quality standards and cannot be used. The drug maker didn't say how many doses were lost or how this would impact future deliveries. Johnson & Johnson says it managed to deliver its promised 20 million COVID vaccines before the end of this month, but the Biden administration expressed doubt that its next production deadline will be met and says it is key to his administration's goal of having enough vaccines for all U.S. adults by the end of May. Essentia Health is accepting walk-ins tomorrow at the vaccination center located in the former Gordman's building in Fargo. You can walk in anytime between 1 and 7 p.m. If you want to schedule your shot for a later date, we have posted the link along with this story at valleynewslive.com. Sanford now says anyone age 16 and up can also schedule an appointment with them to get the vaccine.
I was telling Mr. Floyd, Mr. Floyd, just apply with them, get on in the car because you can't win. Something to that nature.
Disbelief and guilt.
Okay. Why guilt?
If I would have just not taken the bill, this could have been avoided.
Witnesses taking the stand in day 3 of the Derek Chauvin trial. Traumatic moments caught on camera and new evidence never seen before by the public also taking center stage today. Camilla Burnell is in Minneapolis with the very latest.
"61-year-old Charles McMillan breaking down watching video of George Floyd begging for his mother and his life as Minneapolis police officers kneel on him.
I don't have a mama either. I understand him.
Relax. For the first time in the trial, we're hearing Chauvin's voice in never-before-seen police body cam video that caught Chauvin defending the way police handled Floyd in an exchange with McMillan.
We gotta control this guy because he's a sizable guy.
Yeah, and I tried to get in the car.
Looks like he's probably on something.
McMillan telling the court he interacted with Chauvin days before the incident with Floyd and offered up some punishing comments.
I think I said to him 5 days ago, I told you at the end of the day, go home to your family to say, let the next person go home to their family to say, but the dad got to look at you as a maggot.
New surveillance video showing George Floyd in the store where he allegedly passed a counterfeit $20 bill. The cashier working at the time said during testimony he now feels guilty about calling the police.
If I would have just not taken the bill, this could have been avoided.
In Minneapolis, Camila Bernal, Valley News Live.
The most serious charge, second-degree murder, carries a maximum sentence of 40 years in prison.
The Fargo Police Department is starting distracted driving enforcement throughout the month of April. Distracted driving carries a $200 fine for adults. Drivers under the age of 18 are prohibited from using electronic communication, including calling on the phone. A violation carries a $20 fine and up to 4 points on a recipient's driving record. Fargo police have these tips to help you from getting distracted. Silence your phone and put it in your glove box. Designate a texter. Download a distraction-free app or ask people not to contact you during your commute. If you need help uncovering an issue in your community, call us. Our whistleblower hotline is 237-6576. We'll do our best to get to the bottom of it.
The North Dakota Senate has rejected a bill to strip the governor or any government agency from limiting business hours and capacity. Executive orders during the pandemic force some businesses to close and put patron limits on others. This bill was an attempt to take those powers away.
Our constituents have said we have to do something because this makes no sense. And the length of time that had continued to go on and continues to go on makes no sense.
This was one of more than 50 bills this session dealing specifically with the pandemic. Studying for the ACT prior to applying for college applications will be a thing of the past for high school juniors in North Dakota. The tests aren't going away, but the requirement in North Dakota is changing. The North Dakota University system says in the future, schools will only look at students' GPA in core course requirements. However, they still recommend taking the test.
There are still references to the ACT in scholarship requirements. The state scholarship still requires some sort of nationally recognized standardized exam.
The State Board of Higher Education has authorized colleges and universities to waive the collection of ACT scores through the summer of 2023, which gives the university system time to figure out what they want to collect for admission purposes.
A Fargo woman is being recognized by Governor Doug Burgum. She has made nearly 10,000 masks since the start of the pandemic from home and donated them for free.
I've donated to the Salvation Army, Ronald McDonald House, all of the police stations in Fargo. I don't feel comfortable charging for something that may possibly save somebody's life.
Governor Burgum sent her this challenge coin for individual excellence and service, along with a letter thanking her for her outstanding and selfless actions. Cindy has now made more than 9,400 masks. She says recently it's been hard to find places that accept handmade masks. She hopes to hit her goal of 10,000 by the end of April.
Still ahead, a West Fargo man is disgusted at what some people are doing or not doing about trash.
But first, we made it through the worst weather of the week. Hutch has details on a warm-up right after the break.
Get an